Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So guys, received something in the mail today from Entertainment Earth, and yeah, I'm very excited about this because I was expecting this for a little while. I'm super glad to be able to open this firsthand because I've been anticipating all of these G.I. Joe Super 7 figures because, let's be honest, the facial sculpts for Super 7 have not been the greatest. So, with this new package, I get to find out firsthand exactly what all the fuss is about. Well guys, without further ado, let's take a look at this review for the new Super 7 G.I. Joe action figures. Let's have a look. Guys, this has been a long time coming. I've been very excited to do this review for Entertainment Earth. They provided this review sample of the G.I. Joe Ultimate Super 7 G.I. Joe action figures, which are based off of the Sunbow cartoon. So, I want to give a huge shout out once again to Entertainment Earth for providing these review samples. Let's get on with this, guys, and take a look at what Entertainment Earth provided for us today for this G.I. Joe review. Okay, I love the way they branded their packaging here, Entertainment Earth. You know exactly who it's being sent by. It's even got, if you look here, it's got a fragile and handle with care, sticker at the top. It's actually printed right on top of the box, which is great. Let's open her up. I love the way they package their products. It's really well packaged. I mean, like, it's got a lot of padding, and they don't scrimp out. Like that seems to be the biggest thing. Because look at that. So that's the top. That's the top layer. I mean, seriously, that is a lot of packing material just for 2 boxes. Cobra Commander from the G.I. Joe Ultimates edition. We also have Duke. This is excellent. Alright guys, let me clean up a little bit and then we'll get started with the review. Alright, so here we go guys. Today, for the first review, we're going to be taking a look at Duke from A Real American Hero Sunbow Animation Cartoon. I've been waiting a long time to actually see this come to fruition. Guys, as I said earlier, this has been one of my favorite cartoons of the 1980s, and I can't wait to take a look at this. Let's crack this open and see exactly what we're dealing with. Now, I've given this tip out a lot. A lot of people have trouble with these lips here for the crack tab, and all you really have to do is, for me anyway, this is the easiest way I've found to actually open this up, is to grab it from the inner lip and then pull out from there. Really simple to get these things open. And then we will take out the figure itself. Come on, Duke. Let's see what you got. Oh, look at that. G.I. Joe. It's a shiny material, though. Like, quite literally. It looks like it's been made out of some sort of sheet metal. Camouflage type of deco. I love the G.I. Joe logo there. All these wonderful colors. Just the blues, the reds, the whites. Just beautiful. If we come in closer, we can actually see it does say Duke, First Sergeant. Coming to the side, it's just your basic deco. It's got almost as if these are panels which have been worn down by age. Doing the other side, we see an embossed version of the G.I. Joe logo. Beautiful stuff. And of course, more of that weathering idea. The contents is one figure with accessories. On the other side, it definitely says GIW1 DKE.01. And on the bottom, it does say some more information about the figure. And of course, there it is. Big old Hasbro right there. UPC, even though these aren't going to go to stores, but yeah, you never know. It might just do that. All right, let's take out the slipcover. Ooh, look at that, everybody! There we go. Whoo! Wow, he looks amazing. I love the way they presented him in the box itself. If you are an in-box collector, this is just absolutely gorgeous. And I forgot to mention that if we look here on the back, you can actually see the file card for Duke. You can read the entire thing there, guys, if you want to just hit pause and take a little bit of time to read that. It's awesome. All right, let's open this guy up and see what awaits us. So we'll just go ahead and grab that. Come here, Duke. There we go. That's it. Wow, look at him there. Now that he's actually out of the cellophane, the colors are just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Zooming in a little bit, we can actually see some of that great detail. Right off the hop, I can say right away, in terms of like a cartoon accurate sculpt, this is amazing. This is absolutely beautiful. There's not much paint in here, and you know what? Rightly so. This is an animation accurate, figure, and I do love that. The sculpt is everything in this case. Unlike the way they took the approach for Thundercats,
which had, you know, required some paint on it. This one really is mostly on the sculpt, and I really do appreciate the way it's been done. This is amazing. Go ahead and see if we can finagle him out of there. I think the legs are probably going to be our best form of attack because I can grab his shoe. Yeah. I love the fact that there are no ties on here. That way I don't have to, like, you know, snap him out with some snaps. So there we go. Look at that. Just popped him right out. Honestly, today they strap him down so tightly. You literally got to go in, grab some cutters, and just like snip everywhere. It's crazy. All right, just because they're so small, I'm not going to bother taking these things up. But there is the radio. A lot of great detail in that one. It's got an actual print of 802 on it. I can't remember the significance of that, if that's a frequency he had to use to contact a specific contact in the field. But yeah, it is well done. I do like the sculpting overall. A frequency dial that you use on your old school radios on your phones. Here is the pair of binoculars. They are really well done as well. They have that soft loop as well. And yeah, they look very, very appropriate. And of course he has his swappable hands, the extra two gripping hands, the karate chop hand, which is always a lot of fun, the pointing hand for Yo Joe, and of course, these are actually additional types of gripping hands as well. All right, let's take a look at the Duke figure himself. Guys, I gotta tell you, I am super impressed at the way this particular figure looks. If I really just had to judge him on appearances alone, I would say, yeah, they nailed it. This is Duke from A Real American Hero. I mean, you can't... you know, capturing something on pencil and paper is one thing, but then when you bring it into 3D form, so many times does it actually fail. The studio lights here make it a little bit harsher to really judge this, but I gotta tell you, in terms of, again, a cartoon look, he's pretty damn awesome. I love the chiseling on the cheekbones, the overall appearance of the bridge on his nose, the eyes. The simple coloring in the eyes really does work for me. I'm supremely impressed at the way they've done this. And when you think about just how close this is, guys, this is super, super close. You really can't see a lot of detail. Unlike Hasbro, which does this type of tempo printing, these look almost as if they're actually hand-painted or, you know, fine brushwork. I love that. That is absolutely amazing. There's no, you know, moire pattern. There's no dot pattern on the eyes. That is crazy. I really love the way that looks. Now, to get a really close look, we'd have to use a macro lens, but you know what? I don't want to do that. There is very little shading on the figure itself. I mean, again, for obvious reasons. It could, you know, stand to do with a small wash maybe on the hairlines, but this is really the look that they were going for. Now, I have a tiny bit of a splotch here. I could probably just buff that out. But honestly, I love the way this guy's overall appearance is as a cartoon accurate sculpt. Seriously. I love the little insignia that he has here, super signature to the series itself. He's got army fatigues, which are just a sort of a yellow tan shirt. The band across his chest is loose. It is glued here to the top. I wonder if we can actually remove that. Now that I look at it again, it actually looks like it's pegged in. And I'm now wondering if I want to remove that. Maybe I'll just leave it in the way it is. I mean, this is the way Duke is supposed to look. On the back, it's very, very minimal detail, but that's fine. I love the sculpting on the shirt itself. Really does look super well done. His pants are, of course, just your standard Army issue. Green in their appearance. Pretty simple boots. I've never seen Army gear like that, though. But again, really falls well in line with the overall appearance on the cartoon series. He even comes with a wristwatch, which, again, we'd have to imagine is standard Army issue. That is so great. And look, it's so well detailed. Even at this level, you can see the date and the date dials along with the minutes and hours hand. Beautiful stuff. According to this, if we were to read this time, it is 2:45. I'm thinking that's 2:45. It's about heading towards 3 o'clock. He really does look great. And as far as articulation goes, the head does move up and down. We can see that here. His head moves about that far up. I don't think I can move it any further up, and this far, about that far down. I'm literally pushing down as far as I can. He does have a side-to-side tilt. It's about that far and about that far. Not too much. He does have a full rotation on the head. Oop, and then, of course, it pops off. But yeah, he does have a full rotation, but you want to move it to the left, to the right, right? Yeah, no, you can... Actually, no, it doesn't pop off. It just sort of popped off at that instance. But yeah, crazy turn on the back there. But yeah, very cool. Okay, these are always very, very stiff right out of the package. So yeah, you can move... His arms go about... I'd say about that far out. But yeah, about that far out, I would say. Not a crazy amount of range on the up and down. The biceps do have a rotation. It's full 360. The same thing with the elbow, sorry. The elbows go about that far. No double hinge. The wrists do have a hinge on them, so there's pretty good amount of movement. And of course they do rotate a full 360 degrees around. The legs do kick about that much forward and about, I'd say, that much back. Yeah, not much in the range of the back. You can slide it out about that much. The knees do have a bend, which you can see right here. No double hinge on that either. The calf does do a rotation, full 360 degrees. And the toe kicks about that far out and then goes back about that far. Again, he does come with a host of accessories, including, looks like an Uzi type of weapon. And this is harkening back to the toy aesthetic. This part seems to be a bit bent, but a little bit of heat should be able to bring that back to this normal state. I love the amount of detail here, no paint whatsoever. He also has his G.I. Joe Real American Hero rifle. Very cool to see this. Very minimal amount of paint on this one. As a matter of fact, the brown that they used, almost a taupe type of color, is almost indistinguishable to the silver highlights, which is kind of disappointing, really, because on the solicitation shots there really was a much highlighted difference. The backpack, as we can see, is wonderfully sculpted with details. I love the spade that's actually been expertly painted on the side here, just a little tiny dot there. But still, I love the fact that the spade is actually silver and actually has a metallic sheen to it. It's really nice. We do see the sleeping bag wrapped around the top of the backpack. Very, very cool. And the backpack itself has several different pouches, which can be utilized by Duke himself. The straps are made of a malleable plastic, and as I said, seems to be almost detaching on this side, so you got to be careful when you're putting it on. To put the backpack on, it's actually kind of simple. You just bring the first one, lift up the arms a little bit. Oh wow, this is actually really difficult now that I'm actually trying to do it. Yeah, almost as if it's like putting on a pair of clothes. But you can see what it's doing to the top here. It really is stressing that one point to the degree that I'm not comfortable with, to be perfectly honest. And that's it. It almost is like putting on a real backpack. Normally, I'd just pop the arms off if it was a Masters of the Universe character, but in this case, that's definitely not possible. So yeah, Duke comes with the first swappable head, which is actually from one of the scenes in the Real American Hero cartoon. He's wearing a headset. Even though there's minimum paint on the figures, I do love the paint that they've actually applied with the gray on the headset. And even though there is a few details where they have actually gone outside the lines for his hair, so you can see a little bit of spillage there, but that's okay. It's you're really just going to look at him from about that distance anyway. I love this expression. It's a little bit worried, but at the same time very composed, as Duke always has been throughout the series. It is the Yo Joe type of head sculpt. He really has that grimacing, screaming face. Of course, this is signature to Duke in a lot of ways. He does have those wonderful painted eyes, as I said earlier. But other than that, it really isn't that much different from either of the head sculpts. It really is all about the sculpting with this particular line, because they really do embody the entire idea of the Sunbow cartoon, and I love that. Which was included with the character, which has very little detail. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if this is painted or if this is actually just a sculpted color. I'm thinking it's just a sculpted color, but we'll find out in a second, because if there's any paint rub, we're going to find out pretty much immediately. Our best, and actually, no, it fits on really, really well. When I was trying to get it on like this, it was really tough. But from the back, and I think that's the important thing, put it in from the back and just pop it right on, and it seems to fit just fine as far as I can tell. So I'm going to try that again. Yeah, that's it. It's as simple as that. And there we go. There is Duke with his army helmet. Awesome. And it looks really good on him. Seriously. Of course, this is actually what the Real American Hero, the G.I. Joes were originally meant for, combat in the theater. So yeah, looking really, really cool. Love it. I have to tell you, I really am very impressed at Duke. He really is an amazing figure from Super 7, and that is saying a lot, because honestly, the last couple of figures from Super 7, yeah, the facial sculpts weren't always up to par, and I gotta tell you, just the overall look and design of this thing, I'm really, really impressed. Let's wrap this up, everybody. Alright guys, so what do I think about Duke? Honestly, I think he's freaking amazing. He definitely has surprised me in terms of the overall, take on G.I. Joe. Very, very much the Sunbow animation. I mean, this is purely Sunbow animation design. He really does embody everything that Sunbow, the Sunbow cartoon, really did look. I love the design. I love the character himself, and of course, he's Duke, man. He really is Duke. Details-wise, he can, I forgot to say this, he can do an ab crunch that much forward, and he does do a waist twist, which is good because, again, as we've seen with other, characters, Masters of the Universe Mondo, doing something like this would, sometimes does pop the waist, and of course, Duke really is, even though it breaks the sculpt, it looks freaking amazing. And again, he can do an actual really good limbo. I mean, that's freaking crazy. But yeah, overall, I mean, if you're just looking to have Duke on your shelf, having a great G.I. Joe presence, I mean, this is actually, you can't really get much better than this. He looks absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, now I have a dilemma. I'm so far into the G.I. Joe classified line that this gives me a lot of problems, because now I'm thinking I have to actually really complete this G.I. Joe Ultimates line from Super 7, and that's kind of killing me. So yeah, guys, this has been perplexing for me. I think I'm in a bit of a dilemma, because honestly, this figure surprised the heck out of me, I gotta tell you. Super 7 for me has been a bit of a hit and miss, even though I've collected so many of their actual action figures. They still are sort of, kind of up in the air for their facial sculpts. However, this one, and I gotta tell you, was a huge surprise to me. And now I'm kind of stuck because I'm so far into the G.I. Joe classified line by Hasbro. And now with this review, I think I'm going to have to actually complete this line of G.I. Joe Ultimates from Super 7 for the Sunbow cartoon. Guys, if you are into the Sunbow cartoon aesthetic and you really enjoyed this review of Duke from G.I. Joe Ultimate Super 7, I will have affiliate links in the description below so you guys can pick up your very own copy of Sergeant Duke, First Sergeant himself. Guys, definitely don't sleep on this. He looks absolutely amazing, and honestly, I'm happy to add him to my collection. Huge shout out to Entertainment Earth for for providing this particular review copy. Guys, definitely check out those affiliate links below. They do help out the channel, and I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really helps me out. And, of course, if you're in the position to help out the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon page. It's MegaJ Retro on Patreon. Guys, the patrons of this channel help me make wonderful episodes every single week, and I couldn't do it without them. They are the best. Thank you ever so much, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Guys, I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Yo, Joe, everybody. Yo, Joe. Good journey. Geek proud. I want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreon and channel member supporters. Thank you so much, everybody. It's thanks to your support that this channel continues to grow, and I really could not have done this without you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support, guys. It really means a lot and really helps the channel to keep growing.